All right, you're highly welcome to another segment of our day-to-day inspirational messages. The name still remains the same, Prophet Opatafuor. You can go to our social media handles and do subscribe to it so that when we upload a new video, you'll be the first person to get it. That is on Facebook, it is Opatafuor TV. And then on YouTube too, it is Opatafuor TV. You're watching me live on Opatafuor TV. I am your prophet. Today we are talking about the phenomenon of divine restoration. Restoration is an awe-inspiring phenomenon which emanates from the divine, which represents the resplendent resurgence of God's redemptive power. It embodies the transformative process through which, in His boundless mercy and grace, rejuvenates and renews individual lives, communities, and even nations. It encompasses myriads of dimensions. As a believer, we need the restorative power of God in our life. We can never go a single day without the restorative power of God. You see, as humans, we are limited to certain things. So most of the time, we need God's intervention to survive here on the planet Earth. We need God's restorative power in every area of our life. We need God's restorative power in our relationship, in our broken homes, in our job centers. We need God's restorative power in our ambitions or whatever dreams or inspirations that we have. We need God's restorative power in all corners of our life. We need the Spirit of God through the restorative process to rejuvenate us, to renew us. Whatever that we've lost in the realms of the Spirit, it could be physical, emotional, mental, or in the realms of the Spirit. We need God's restorative power in all kinds of human endeavors. The other time God said to our beloved prophet, He says, I will restore to you the number of years that the cankerworms, the palmerworms, and the caterpillars have eaten from you. It means in the infinite wisdom of God, He knew that there are small demons or certain forces or unseen forces hiding behind scenes, fighting humans immensely, doing whatever that they can to bring the human spirit down. Once your spirit is down emotionally, bear it in mind that you can't do anything. This is the more reason why that we need the restorative power of God. It represents the resurgent, resplendent of God's redemptive power. This is exactly what I'm talking about. We need it as a broken-hearted person. I don't know whoever that is watching me, but you need the restorative power of God in our human life, in our businesses, in our marriage, in our relationship, in our health, whatever, in terms of our divine protections. We need the restorative power of God in our life. We are humans, and we are limited to certain things, and we cannot do certain things on our own. We need the restorative power of God. Sometimes you can just get up early in the morning based on what you hear or you encounter. Your emotions and everything will be down. In order to rise back and bounce back onto your feet, emotionally and get along with the day-to-day activities, you will need the restoration of God's intervention in your life. The redemptive power of God. It is through these redemptive power of God that many people who were down emotionally have been restored. I love it so much when Jesus, our wonderful and beloved Savior, says the Spirit of the Lord is upon his life, and God has anointed him to restore the brokenhearted. When we sit down and spring back to life, we could see very well that a lot has slipped off from our hands. A lot of opportunities. It could be job opportunities. It could be some sort of opportunity. Whatever that it may be, a lot has slipped off from our hands. That is why God said he will certainly restore the number of years that the cankerworms and the caterpillars have eaten from our hands. A lot has slipped off from our hands in our society, as a nation, as married couples. A lot of opportunity has slipped off from your hands, and it is only the intervention or the restorative power that can bring everything back to life. People are suffering emotionally. People are suffering in terms of health wise. Things are not finding it, they are not finding it well with things. They are down emotionally. You need the redemptive, you need the restorative power of God. You need the restorative power of God to step into your marriage and restore the kind of happiness that you used to enjoy when you met your partner in the earlier stages. You need the redemptive power of God. You need the restorative power of God in your life to restore the source of enjoyment, the exuberance that you used to enjoy when you met your partner in the early stages. Many marriages are sinking because all is lost. Hope is lost, everything. So the emotions, most of the married couples are suffering from emotional damages. It is only the restorative power of God that can bring you back to life, that can rejuvenate you, that can renew your life, that can renew the sort of happiness that used to exist between you and your partner. It is only the restorative power of God that can do exactly what I'm telling you. We need the restorative power of God. Bible says that whatever that God blesses Job with, all was taken from him because of the evil schemes and the mindset of Satan. All was taken from him. But when Job went on his knees and began to interact with God through prayers, Bible says that the restorative power that represents the resplendent resurgence of God's redemptive power stepped in and restored this man with the restitution. He restored him and made him bigger and bigger like never before. Whatever that Job lost was restored back to him with a restitution. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Whatever material gain that you might have lost, you will need the restorative power of God to step into your company, because it seems everything is sinking. Gradually, things are slipping and getting out of hands. You need the restorative power of God to bring everything back to control. Your marriage is dying. You don't have any sort of happiness in your relationship. You need the restorative power of God. You need that resplendent resurgence of God's redemptive power. This redemptive power has redeemed a lot of people from all walks of life, people that were suffering from all forms of infirmity. Their life has been transformed and redempted through the process of restoration. This sort of power, a divine power, embodies the transformating progress of human life. And that is exactly what I'm telling you. The life of the Israelites were brought back to life because God did restore them. All the mighty men in the scriptures who lost everything that God blessed them with, all was brought back through the process of restoration. You need God to restore you. Allow yourself and ask God, Spirit, ask God's restorative power to come in and then restore whatever opportunity, whatever blessings that are slipped off from your hands, whatever opportunity or blessings that you have been deprived of. You need God's redemptive power to step in and bring everything back to you. This is exactly what I'm talking about. We need God's restorative power. I'm talking to you regarding the phenomenon of divine restoration. And man means the restorative power of God in their life. Many people whose life were shattered were totally brought back to life because of this restorative power that I'm talking about. A man who lost everything in his life, a man like Job, he was brought back to life probably because of the restorative power of God. You need this power immensely and as a matter of urgency in your life. You need the Spirit of God. You need the power of God. You need the restorative power to step in and amend things, to bind together, to amend the broken heart, the broken bones. You need God to step in and fix something in your life for you. Something needs to be restored in your day-to-day life. You need that power. You need that boundless mercy and grace of God in your life. You need God's intervention immensely in your life because things are falling apart. Things are falling apart haphazardly. You need God's intervention in your life. You need that transformative power in your life. Things need to be transformed. As a matter of urgency, tell God that I want you to use at least 5 to 10 minutes and tell God in your spirit that God, do restore me one more time. I need your restorative power. I need a total restoration in every aspect of my life. It seems everything is being shattered. There's nothing that is kicking and moving well in your life. Whatever that you involve yourself in, it gets spoiled. If it is business, everybody will involve themselves in such business. But let for you alone to indulge or involve yourself in this set business, everything will be lost. You have lost your capital. You have lost everything, and the business is not moving well. Things are sinking. You need God's restorative power. You need that power that transformed and brought Job back to life, because the man was dead in the realms of the spirit. He suffered emotional damage. Imagine a man of such caliber who has attained to a higher level of status quo in the society, who lives in the upper echelon of human success, who woke up one day and everything that he has toiled for, everything that he has labored for, was totally taken from this beautiful, handsome, energetic man, Job. This man's life was totally shattered. This man's life was totally shattered. Hadn't been the restorative power of God, he would have labored in vain. Everything was totally shattered, and he never knew exactly where to turn to. Hadn't been the restorative power of God. My dear, you need the restoration power. You need that power to rejuvenate and bring back everything and renew you. You need God's renewal spirit in you. There is something that has been taken from you. God needs to renew your marriage. God needs to renew your relationship with that friend, with your business partners. It seems your business partners are turning off from the deal. It's because they are giving up on you. They wish to pull out in business. They wanted to withdraw back from whatever agreement that you've gone in with these people, your business partners. You need God's restorative power to restore the love that exists between you and your business partners. You need God's restorative power to renew the love, the faith that your business partners have in you. You need God's redemptive power, that restorative power to bring everything that is dead in you, the shattered aspect of your life. You need God's restorative power to bring it back. Everything that is shattered in you, you need God's restorative power. You need God's redemption to redeem you and bring you back. Most people have lost. But I believe this restorative power because it brought so many sinners, people who were far from the Spirit of God. This restorative power brought them back to God again. So it doesn't matter where you have got into in life. It's a matter of just opening your mouth, your heart, your mind, and inclining everything to this restorative power that I'm talking about, and confessing, telling the Spirit of God to renew you once again, to give you that opportunity again. You see, everything in Samson was totally shattered. He suffered emotional damage when his strength was taken from him. But one day, Samson realized that he knew he needed the restorative power of God. So he went on his knees and began to pray and interact with God through prayers. And God understood this man because of the mercy and kindness that God has for the human race. God restored this wonderful and mighty man again, and he performed like never. Even earlier on, the sort of strength that he used to have, God doubled it, God tripled it. When you allow yourself and invite God into your marriage, the sort of love that God will bring in will supersede or surpasses that of your understanding. It will supersede that of the earlier on, the love that you people used to share. It's going to be tripled, it's going to be quadrupled, it's going to be doubled in your life. Because I've never seen anywhere in scriptures where anybody had ever run to God and had given him the same thing. It's either he doubles it or he gives you something that is of a higher thing or something more than regarding what you used to have. I've seen a lot of mighty men who lost it all, but they understood the intricate tapestry of human existence and switched back to God and asked him for his restorative power. And God never denied them. So it doesn't matter where you have got into, whether you're a sinner or whatever that you may be, whatever thoughts that you think you have, do it, throw it away, step on it, and then come back to God and tell him that God restored me. That power, that zeal, that capacity, that sort of forces that God imbued in you. Let God to bring such power back again through the restorative process. You need the power of God. You need the Spirit of God to revive you, to renew your strength, to renew your faith, to renew your joy, to renew your happiness, to restore the brokenhearted. You have experienced a lot of broken heart from people from all walks of life. It could be your fiancé, your boyfriend, your parent, your children. You need that restorative power to restore you. Tell God that, God, restore me and give me strength to be able to stand the face of adversity. You need that power to bounce back to life through a restorative process. You need that power. You need it as a matter of urgency. You need that spirit so much, immensely, that to the extent where you can be able to bounce back onto your feet and defeat your enemies. You need it. Whatever that it may be, you need it. All human life, every aspect of our life, we need the restorative power. He says, I'll restore to you. When you read the Bible, he says, I'll restore to you the number of years that the palmerworms, the cankerworms, and the caterpillar have eaten. A lot of things, a lot of opportunities, a lot of blessings has been eaten up by this enemy. We have spoiled a lot of things. We have caused harm, damaged a lot of opportunities that God gave to us. A lot of doors has been shattered. When we spring back to life and cast our eyes around our own livelihood, we could declare or see clearly that a lot of opportunities has slipped off from our hands. But nothing is too late. The Spirit of God is there to restore whatever that you have lost. You need it. In Joel chapter 2, verse 25, I read, it says, and I will restore to you the years that locusts have eaten, the cankerworm and the caterpillar and the palmerworm, my great enemy which I sent among you, had eaten. I will certainly restore you. That's exactly what the Bible says. And this is what God is telling us. He says, when we run to him and allow him to take the lead, he's going to restore whatever opportunity that has slipped off our hands. He's going to restore it. He is going to rebind a broken heart. Whatever broken heart that you have experienced, whatever pain that you are going through, allow God to restore you and give you that maximum strength, that capacity in order to maximize your responsibility, in order to conquer your enemies. You need that restorative power. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. The phenomenon of God's restorative power. The phenomenon of God's restorative power. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I am advocating the restorative power of God to you. You need total restoration. You need to be restored in every area of your life. You need it in your marriage. You need it in your business. You need it in your work centers. You need it in your health. You need everything. There's one kind of a thing that you need the Spirit of the Lord to fix in your human system. If it's about healing, you need God's restorative power to heal you through your bones, in your bones, your human system, the respiratory system, the skeletal system, every aspect of your human body that is affected or suffering from an affliction. You need God's restorative power. That restorative power to restore things and make things afresh, to rejuvenate you and bring you back to life. Bible says that God shook the shoulders of the prophet on the mountain, and within the valley there were certain bones in there, and he showed the prophet and asked the prophet that, do you think that these bones can be brought to life? He says it takes only your power, it takes only your restorative power. And he spoke to the prophet that, begin to prophesy unto these dry bones, and tell the dry bones to rise back to power. And when the prophet of God began to prophesy over the dry bones, things began manifesting. The wondrous work of God was put to display. The power, the restorative power was put to display, and the dry bones rose back to life. It is very important in the life of every human, that whatever thing that is dry in our life, we need the restorative power of God to restore every dry bone in terms of the health sector, every dry bone in terms of our finances. If you are in a financial state of bankruptcy, don't worry. You need the restorative power of God to restore all the sort of money or finances that are slit off from your hand. You need God's power to restore your contract back. Everything that you have been deprived of, you will need the Spirit of God to restore you. It is very important to seek for the restoration power of God. I'm talking about the phenomenon of divine restoration. It's an awe-inspiring phenomenon which emanates from the divine, that represent the resplendent resurgence of God's redemptive power. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. You need the favor of God. You need the power of God. And all these favor, mercy, and grace can be showed to you. You can only experience this through the restorative power of God. When God begins to step in, He shows you the boundless of His mercy and grace to rejuvenate and renew your lives. Nations have been broken. The other time when I was praying for this country, Turkey, when they experienced the earthquake, I told God to restore this country because they are down emotionally when they experience such a catastrophe. A lot. It is a power that God uses to rejuvenating and renewing the lives of individuals, nations, and community. May the Spirit of God renew your vows. May the Spirit of God renew the love that you share with your partner. Renew the vow that you share with your fiancé, because it seems everything is gradually getting out of hands. You need that redemptive power. You need that power of God to step into your life and make a difference, make a change, make an amendment to things, to direct things in your favor. You need that restorative power. You need that restorative power. In the early beginnings of your life, people used to honor you. People used to respect you. If people don't respect you today, it means one significant thing has been taken out of your life. And you need the Spirit of God to restore you. You need the power of God to restore you. You need that spirit, that spirit, that restorative spirit to restore whatever honor or respect that you have lost in the presence of people. If your wife doesn't respect you anymore, there's one kind of a glory that you have lost. One kind of thing, a significant thing in your life that you've lost, that is permitting your wife to heap on you all sort of insults. If your husband doesn't respect you, he insults you or do all sort of things to you, it means you have lost certain things. One significant thing in your life, you have lost it. That is why he keeps on heaping all sort of insults on you. Anytime that there's a little misunderstanding, that kind of affection is not there. He doesn't have that affection for you anymore. Sister, you need the restorative power. You need that redemptive power to redeem your relationship, to redeem your love back to you, to rejuvenate and revive you, to renew your strength in the sector of love. People are emotionally down. In the realms of the spirit, people are emotionally down. People have lost it. Whatever opportunity, there are some of us, we in the early beginnings of our life, in the early stages of our life, we have lost a lot of opportunities. A lot has slipped off from our hands in terms of finances. Look at the number of amounts, the sort of amount, the sum of money that you were exposed to, that came to you. all has slipped off from your hands, when you sit down quietly and spring back to life and give life a second thought, you could see very clearly that a lot has slipped off from your hands. Some of we, the young, beautiful ladies, the sort of opportunities that we had in our life, certain men that we came into contact with who could have been of help to us, but because of the evil agenda of the enemy, he's no more in our life. This opportunity has been taken off from our life. Nothing is too late unless you kick the bucket and leave the surface of the earth. Once you are alive, there's more hope for you, and God can change things. God can transform things and make things work in your favor. And this can only happen when you allow the transformative power of God to step into your life. This is the only sort of means to which God can revive you, bring you back to life. Whatever that you have been deprived of, it is only sort of means through which God can use to restore you. So you need a restorative power. You need that power in your life. You need it. I love it so much when Jesus said, the Spirit of the Lord is upon my life, and He's anointed me to restore the broken heart. The brokenhearted. You need God's restorative power. You need a total restoration in every aspect of your life. You need, before you can come out, if you're a student, in the early beginnings of your education, things were moving onward. But today, whatever that you'll be taught in the classroom, or you'll be lectured, you don't get it. You don't understand it. Nothing is too late. Invite the restorative power of God. You need a total restoration. You need God to give you a retentive memory, a very sharp IQ. You need it. You need it. You need the highest level of an IQ to understand the things that you'll be taught in classrooms and your various learning centers. If you can be able, or if you can come out with a flying colors, you need God's intervention through the process of restoration. You need that restorative power to restore to you back that retentive memory that can make you stand in the capacity, in the field, in the phase of learning. You need it. You need that power. You need that power that represent the resplendent of God's redemptive power. You need it. You need that unique force, that supernatural power in the kingdom of God that represent the resplendent resurgence of God's redemptive power. You need it. You need God's power to bring every shattered aspect of your life back to life. You need God to bring you back on your feet to a normal functioning. You need these things. You need it. You need God to shook your shoulders through the process of restoration and bring you back on your feet. You need God's Spirit to catapult you onto the highest level of success, the highest or the apex of success. You need God's Spirit to make you a standout, a difference between your peers in the society, in the locality. If a man can only perform and achieve a highest level of accolade, you need God's redemptive power. You need God's restoration from all walks of your life. You need it. You need God's power to be in there for you and make amendments, correct and rectify certain things in your life. You need God's power. Allow God to step in. Every day, early in the morning when I woke up, the first prayer, when I thank God, the next prayer that I always pray to God, that there shouldn't be any single day that I'll run dry from the unction of God, because I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I need that power and over my life and every aspect of my life. I need God's restorative power, and every opportunity that God blessed me with, all angles, through financially, in terms of relationship, businesses, in my ministry life, whatever opportunity that God gave to me that has been misused or slipped off from my hands, I always pray to God that God should restore me. And indeed, God has been heeding his ears to my prayers, and he keeps on restoring me in many folds. Whatever thing that I ask God for, he keeps on restoring me back. And I believe very well that, and I trust the authenticity, the ultimate power, the power of the Holy Spirit, that when you ask God's restoration in your life, every aspect of your life is going to be transformed. Your life, your relationship, your mental, emotional, spiritual, every aspect of your life is going to be transformed. When you allow God's Spirit to step in, when you allow the divine intervention, the divine restorative power to step in, every aspect of your life is going to be transformed. Your relationship is very important. As we are human, our day-to-day interrelations with humans, God needs him to build what we call trust with our business partners. You see, before somebody can just get up and pick up a huge sums of money to invest into your business firm, that person, between you and that particular said person, the first thing that needs to be restored is what you call trust. And you can only gain trust through a restoration. When God restores what he call trust in between you and your business partner, this is where it will motivate the person to come in with huge sums of money and boost the economic, financial aspect of your business. Once trust is diminished, bear it in mind that everything will sink totally. So in our business firm, in our job centers, when the restorative power of God does not affect in that said area immensely, everything will be shattered. The reason why that Abraham, Noah, and these our predecessors were able to marry their wives for so long was not probably because their wives or husbands never offended them. They offended these people in many ways, but they were able to stand the face of these challenges, because anytime that they offend their partners, the love in between these people diminish. When they go to the presence of God and ask God's intervention, then God steps in and renew and rejuvenate their marital vows and their marital covenants, and bring in some sort of a new joy through the process of restoration. So you see, if our marriage can survive the face of adversity, we need God's redemptive power. We need God's total restoration in the marriage. If we can be loved by our colleagues, by our parents, by our friends in the locality, we need God's restoration in our life. We need it so badly. We need it. We need God to restore whatever opportunity that we've missed in life. We need it. We need it as a matter of urgency. We need God's restorative power. We need it. At first, your director, your boss, in your job centers used to love you people. But if, as I speak with you now, When they see you, even greeting you is a problem for them. Don't you know that there's some sort of glory that has been taken from you? That is why it's making people to react in such a weird manner towards you. Don't you think? You can only experience a genuine love when God restores you back. People can only love you, accept you, help you in times of crisis when God restores you. When God restores you, that's the only means to which you can experience a genuine love from your peers. That is the only means that you can bounce back to your feet when you fall in life. I have spoken with you regarding the phenomenon of God's redemption, the phenomenon of God's divine restoration. I've told you that it's an awe-inspiring phenomenon which emanates from the divine, that represent the resplendent resurgence of God's redemptive power. And as a matter of fact, as we human, when you cast your eyes regarding the intricate tapestry of human existence, we need God's restoration in our every area of our lives. And may God restore you whatever that you have lost. May God restore your hope. May God restore your faith, your trust. May whatever love that used to exist between your partner, your fiancé, that has been diminished, may God restore it in a threefold, in a twicefold. May God restore it in the name of Jesus. May you become successful. May you flourish. Whatever that you touch your hands with it, whatever blessings, opportunity that has slipped off from your hand, may God restore you and make you a successful one in society. May the Spirit of God locate you wherever you are watching me. A year by this time, a week by this time, a month by this time, may the story patterns, or may your storyline be changed in the mighty name of Jesus. If we're a pastor, I usher you into the hands of God, and may God restore whatever unction that was upon your life, whatever prophetic gift that has been shattered in your life, may it be revived. May the Spirit of God rejuvenate you and revive your ministry. May God cause people from all sectors, from the four physical quadrants of the earth, to sympathize and have empathy with your ministry, to bless you and join hands in helping your ministry. May the Spirit of God step in and bring peace. If we're a business partner and if you're a business person and your business partner have lost trust, hope in you, may the Spirit of God restore that sort of hope and love in between you and your business partners. Whatever thing that the cankerworm, palmerworms, and the caterpillar have eaten from you, may God restore you in manifold with a restitution in the name of Jesus. God bless you. Pick up the number showing you on the screen and send me a WhatsApp message. Please don't call. It's a WhatsApp line. Pick up and send me a WhatsApp message and let's talk. If you have any problem that you love to share with me, my doors are forever open to you. Kindly pick up the number and give me a WhatsApp message. Kindly go to our social media platforms. On Facebook, it is Opatafuor TV, and then on YouTube too, it's Opatafuor TV.